warm welcome for Nick.
Hello. So I speak on communication, and I'm very invested in how I communicate. So to speak about the mistakes is an opportunity for me to let some stuff go. So two true stories, obviously. First one, I was 19, maybe 20, I can't remember exactly how old I was, and I was driving past my old school, and I thought I'd pop in and see my old teachers. So I popped in, they said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm running my own business." 19, 20, yes, I am. They said, "Great, would you like to come and speak to the school?" And I said, "Yes, I would." And the date was arranged, and the date comes, I get introduced, and there was a desk like this, but at the back here, and I'm going to use it as a prop because I want you to see what it's like. Because when I got introduced, I suddenly realised I needed something to help hold me up, and so I clutched hold of the desk as it occurred to me that I had no idea what I was going to say. I'd made no preparation whatsoever, and the only recollection I have of that day is clutching hold of the desk, which I'm going to let go of because it's making me feel negative. That was a true story. Second one, any members here of BNI? In the past, me too, in the past. My chapter was really close to BNI's head office. And so we were quite close to the people at BNI head office, one of whom was a lady who I will name because she's the guilty party in the story. Her name was Kathleen Waller. And Kathleen knew that I spoke. I had a book out at the time, and she asked me if I'd come and talk to her ladies group. And I said, "Yeah, sure, lovely, love to." And so we then corresponded by email, and she then settled a date, and she said, "Just want to confirm this date, and the subject that we want you to speak on is how to improve our sex life." And you find that funny? Yeah. Well, when this email came in, I was typing at my computer, and my kids were over there watching the telly, and I turned around to my boys and I said, "I've got this email in, and they want me to speak on how to improve our sex lives." And they laughed. Yeah, thanks for the support. And then my wife comes home, and I tell her about this, and I say they want me to speak on how to improve our sex lives, and she laughed, which I thought was less supportive than the others. She said, "Well, you'll do it, won't you?" And I said, "No, of course I won't. You know, I speak on how to double your profits. That's my thing." And she went, "But you can do it. You will do it, won't you?" And I went, and she went, "You'll do it, won't you?" And I went, "All right then." So I then worked out and spent a lot of time, I'm careful how I say this, spent a lot of time creating a talk. Extra research wasn't necessary. And it's interesting getting embarrassed on stage. I'm not used to this. Nice. Voice going up. Interesting. Calm down. Anyway, I have this talk all worked out. And 2 weeks before the talk, I get an email from Kathleen, and it says, "Just want to confirm the date. This is the venue." "You're ahead, aren't you?" Mm-hmm. And she says, "And seriously, what are you going to talk on?" So I rang her up. I said, "Kathleen, this is Nick." She says, "You're getting this talk because I've written it." And she went, "Oh, okay." And she then does announce it to the group. It was the most oversubscribed talk they'd ever had. It went very well. Got a number of clients from it. It was a very good night. It was very nice. The key mistake was not getting a clear brief. That's what I've taken away from it. That's my stories.
Thank you very much, Nick. There's a few good morals in that little story. Either how to fill your networking group or how to not SPS.
And I didn't
speechless.
swear.
No.
No, we're good.
Now we have feedback from our judges. Who would like to go first?
I go.
Mm.
Clearly, that was something to my liking. Look, if someone talks you through what's happening, oh my God, I'm getting embarrassed. Like, that made you so human. And not saying you weren't human before, but I really, really loved that. I'd say because you're in communication, my only stretch would be just work on the arms. And they were more than normal. I'm normally not one who picks up on them because they're human. You know, we all and are a bit. But as a communication trainer, they have to go. I sometimes use them myself, and then I'm always like, Nick, stop it. But, you know, some of them are okay, but I felt they distracted from the message, but they could have just really landed with some more pauses. That's what I'd say. But it was human, it was funny, and I really loved how you were leading us to it, kind of like the build-up, because I didn't know, because sometimes something can be really predictable, but I wasn't sure where it is going, so it kept the suspense up a bit. And the last thing I'd say, finish with the moral of the story, because when you finish, like, you weren't really sure, because you kind of finished like, oh, and that's it. You know, just have like a powerful moral of the story. They know when the end is there, and then they give you a massive clap. But overall, I know you don't have rehearsed that a lot. For that, for just coming up, it's like, yeah, that's what I do. It was very natural, and I really loved it.
Thank you.
Okay, good. So I'm glad it was only your voice that went up and nothing else on the topic we're talking about. So here's the thing, what's wrong with this side? Why were we left out the whole thing? You did the whole presentation to these guys, or ladies I should say, right? And gentlemen, of course, and gentlemen at the back. But what? Why? Why did you leave us completely out? You stuck to that side, so just be aware.
Well, I was just avoiding this bloody thing in my face.
Like standing here is enough, but you know, it was just a bit weird for me to see you so glued. Now I don't know if it's nerves or you just wanted to plant yourself somewhere, or you're so conscious of this. If it, but just keep walking till it's gone. So it's only a tiny bit that would be in your, you know, when you're doing big audiences, when you're doing talks, it's important to include the whole room, right? And literally just by standing there, you are literally isolating this side. So much so on an unconscious level, people going, why is he over there? Why is he not going over here? What's wrong with us? Are we not cool? Do we not look good? You know, my makeup not good? You know? So just so you're aware. And the other thing is I really want to start to see you animate. You're very good at standing still. I want to see you, and your arms are okay, they flap. But I really want to see you move and describe things and take us on a journey and really start to communicate with your body too. That's your stretch. That's your next level. Let's get that loosened up. Yeah? But good stuff.
Thank you. Thank you.